Hello, I'm Seeks97 and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Complete Modding Guide. And in this episode I'll be teaching you how to make a friendly mod, so like a cow or a chicken or a pig, so they're all friendly mobs. And basically what I'll be doing is teaching you how to register the mob and give it a name, how to add a map renderer, which I'll tell you about later, which is basically the shape of it, as well as the entity file you need with all like the texture, the move speed, health, the sounds, as well as items it drops, and also spawning. So inside this file I'll be editing it to make our mob spawn in the world. So that's what we'll be doing this episode. And if you see these green things, these are notations, and basically these won't be in the tutorial while I'm doing it, but for the download, so for you to download these files, they will be there for you to help, so like telling you what this does and stuff. And yeah, so let's get started. So I've started from fresh and I've created the Modern School class file, and I'm going to be creating a blue man today. So just a man, like a player modelled person, and he's blue, but he's a friendly mob, so he won't attack you or anything. I've set it up so with the basic string get version and public void load. But there's one thing we need to add in before we get started, and that's just below package net.minecraft.source, but above this bit here. And what we need to put in is import space java.util dot and then map with a capital M, and that basically imports stuff that we need for I think it's the code for the, you know, when I said about the shape of the of your like mob, I think that's what allows that to happen, so there's no errors. So now we can officially get started. So the first thing I'm going to do, which is within our Modern School class file, is we'll need to register the entity, so the entity class or the mob we're going to be creating. So we need to type inside the public void load curly brackets is mod loader dot it's not add, register, yeah, and then find entity ID. You can click whichever one you want, because what we're going to do is take everything outside of the bracket. And now we need to put in the class which holds our entity blue man, in this case is information. So we put entity blue man, and then we put dot class for some reason. Now this says there's an error, that's because we haven't created it obviously. And then the second thing is we need to give an in-game entity name. So we put speech marks, and inside here I'm going to put blue man. So this is the name that you see in-game if you have some sort of mods that show you the names of the mobs. And I think this is the name used in like single player commands, like command spawn and then type that name in. And then we could put another comma, and the last thing, we need to give it an ID. Now we could always type an ID and like look for the IDs and find the one that's not being used. But what this mod loader has is mod loader dot get unique entity ID. You put semicolon at the end, and basically this finds an ID that's not being used by any other entity and gives it to this entity. So that's our entity registered, except there's one problem: we haven't created the entity blue man file. And now the next thing we're going to do is create the code that's needed to add a renderer. So that's, and it says here map, and that's basically the code that's used to put the shape onto our entity and give it the qualities for like movement of the arms. So when it walks, how much its legs and arms rotate by. And the reason why I put the Java util map is because of this, so this could be defined and found. So inside here we need to put map.put bracket, delete everything inside here, and then we need to put our entity we're going to add it to, so entity blueman.class, comma, and then we just give it a renderer, so new, and then render, sorry, not renderer, render, and then we need to find the render we're going to use. So for the like skeletons, zombies, and the player, we use render biped. They all use the same render. It's just something inside the entity that makes it different. So we put render biped, and now we need to put another bracket, and we need to put the model that's connected to this, so new, and now we need to find the model. So model, and it's model biped as well. So new model biped, two brackets afterwards, but leave those. And then we need to put a comma after those two brackets we just put in, and then we need to put something, put 0.5f, and then put semicolon at the very end. Now I don't know what this does, but for every mob, for like this recent mod we're making, 0.5f seems to be working for every single mob I've made, so every different kind. So I'll just leave that as 0.5f, but I don't actually know what it does. But that's basically the shape, aka the model, and the render added to your entity.